You're listening to the Astromommy Daily Horoscope, a forecast that hopes to shine a light in the dark, helping us all see where we've been, where we are, and where we're going. Whether you're a first-time listener or a long-time subscriber, thanks for being here. I truly appreciate you being in the Astromommy community. Without further ado, here is the Daily Horoscope. Annular solar eclipse in Libra horoscopes for all 12 signs, October 2nd, 2024. Good afternoon, friends. In part 2 of today's solar eclipse posts, we will briefly revisit the main themes of this eclipse and then dive right into the horoscopes and tarot card readings. If you missed part 1, the annular solar eclipse deep dive post, you can access it here. The main themes. This annular solar eclipse represents a supercharged new beginning that brings with it the energy of initiation, fresh starts, courage, and a fighting spirit in the face of loss, separation, or injury, and a sense of rebuilding within our relationships or partnerships from a place of love, commitment, and deep admiration. The desire for security and stability is strong and will require staying balanced, diplomatic, and considerate of everyone involved to attain. We may have to exert self-control to keep it together in the face of recent or future challenges. Okay, so let's get personal. Horoscopes for all 12 sun or rising signs and a tarot card for each. The house where this eclipse is taking place in your natal chart will give you clues as to which areas of life are going through a supercharged new beginning. The following horoscopes will make the most sense if you read your rising sign. I pulled each tarot card asking what guidance is needed for the next 6 months around these eclipse themes. Aries. The annular solar eclipse at 10 degrees Libra, 3 minutes, will be happening in your 7th house of marriage, committed relationships, business partnerships, and legal contracts. A supercharged new beginning in one of these areas is the major theme of this eclipse. The underlying issues of this eclipse are deep feelings of fear, anxiety, and intensity, especially around the topics of soul bonds, shared resources, and end-of-life affairs. And this is being activated by Venus in Scorpio traveling through your 8th house of death, debt, and other people's money. What Venus brings, though, is not more fear and anxiety, but a penetrative healing and intense nurturing, like the type of relief you feel when you take a soak in a hot mineral bath. The rejuvenation that Venus brings is on a primal, spiritual, and visceral level, and this can create great healing for you. In the recent past, you may have felt a drain or a decrease in the energy around your relationships, but over the next 6 months, you will be in a period of recovery from that. And with this newfound inspiration that is fueled in part by a very powerful bond that you have with another person, maybe even someone who is an ancestor of yours or has already passed on in this lifetime, you are fueled with a sense of compassion, commitment, and need to fight through the vulnerabilities and insecurities you feel and make a new commitment going forward. This new commitment comes from a desire to rebuild your foundations and, in a sense, reclaim who you know you are. This is a very powerful new beginning for you, Aries. The card for you, Aries, is 9 of Latinum, the suit of Pentacles. On this card, we see 9 Latinum bars. The 9 of Latinum is about wealth, self-sufficiency, money, possessions, and being in control. What I am getting from this card and thinking about this eclipse, Aries, is that the new beginning is something you are doing on your own, or feel as if only you can do it. This new beginning has the potential to be very successful and provide you with everything you need to be self-sufficient and in control of your life. What is interesting is that this solar eclipse is happening in your 7th house of partnerships and committed relationships. And so the challenge may be in finding the balance between being autonomous and also in relationship with others. How are you to be free and independent, but also attached, dependent, and bonded in a healthy way? It is possible, Aries, and I think you will find out how over the next 6 months. Taurus. The annular solar eclipse at 10 degrees Libra, 3 minutes, will be happening in your 6th house of service to others, stress, health issues, coworkers, and animals smaller than a goat. You may experience a pretty significant new beginning in one or more of those areas. The underlying issues of this eclipse are relational and have to do with an intensity, passion, and deep desire to connect with someone due to Venus being in Scorpio in your 7th house of relationships and partnerships. You want to feel all of the sensations that come with an actual physical connection to another human being. In the recent past, you may have felt a decrease in energy or an increase in stress due to feelings of overwhelm, illness, or a health issue popping up. Now, over the next 6 months, you are recovering from that and beginning to feel lighter and brighter and mentally more capable. You have a desire to communicate your feelings to friends and lovers, and this new talkativeness may be giving you the confidence to ask for what you want in a relationship. You are thinking of the needs of others, and you are happy to be of service to them as long as there is a reciprocal exchange happening. You may also feel a renewed sense of commitment to your friendships, which may come from a recent loss. The card for you, Taurus, is Six of Starships, the Suit of Cups. On this card, we see 6 starships. The 6 of Starships has to do with fond memories, old friendships, and pleasant pastimes. This card also correlates to the Sun in Scorpio, which seems very fitting since the dispositor of this solar eclipse, Venus, is in Scorpio. So there is a very profound desire to make good memories over the next 6 months with friends, lovers, and partners of all kinds. These experiences are also tied in with your life path and will be pivotal to your story. Do your best to not stress or make yourself sick from overcomplicating things or being too rigid in your thinking. Things have a way of playing out in their own timing, so trust the process and try not to over-control the experience. The best memories are the ones that happen organically, right? Gemini. The annular solar eclipse at 10 degrees Libra, 3 minutes, will be happening in your 5th house of children, pregnancy, creativity, and recreational activities. You could experience a supercharged new romance or heightened sense of sensuality, pregnancy, or means of self-expression. The underlying issues of this eclipse are desiring stress relief or relief from a chronic health issue. With Venus, the dispositor of this solar eclipse, transiting your 6th house of stress, health issues, coworkers, and pets, you could experience a new beginning with something sensual that does double duty. On one hand, it provides recreation and a creative outlet, and on the other hand, it provides a much-needed form of stress relief that literally soothes your tired soul from the deepest, darkest parts of your being. Venus makes flowers bloom wherever she goes, and this means that over the next 6 months, flowers will be blooming in an area of your life where normally no light shines, and it's only work, toil, and sacrifice. On another note, this signification could mean that you find pleasure and have fun doing what others may consider work, sacrifice, or stressful activities. Or maybe what you are creating or doing for fun or for your children requires a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, but it also feels like it is good for your career or good for your bank account. In the recent past, you may have felt a drain, a decrease, or depression in your creativity or ability to have fun. You are now recovering from this and are beginning to feel better. You may still have some work to do, but by committing to your health and well-being, you will have the energy to support yourself. The card for you, Gemini, is 7 of Batleths, the Suit of Swords. This is a card of warning, Gemini, and it makes me look at Mars in Cancer in his fall in your 2nd house of money a bit more closely. This card is about being deceived, lied to, or scammed, so be very careful and do not give your money to anyone who is not who they say they are. You could get duped by a fraudulent business trying to sell you some sort of health aid or beauty product, or even be contacted by a romance scammer or someone posing as one of your friends in need of money. So be diligent in making sure you know who you are dealing with. Don't let your guard down, Gemini. Trust your gut and your intuition, and remember your worth. Cancer. The annular solar eclipse at 10 degrees Libra, 3 minutes, will be happening in your 4th house of family, roots, the father, and real estate. This represents a supercharged new beginning in one of these areas. The underlying issues of this eclipse are about relationships, pleasure, and creativity, since Venus in Scorpio, the dispositor of this solar eclipse, is transiting your 5th house of romance, recreation, children, and creative expression. It's possible that you have recently experienced a lack, a decrease, or an absence of pleasure or creative inspiration, and over the next 6 months, you are slowly but surely beginning to recover. This new beginning is a reinvigoration of your roots, your foundation, or your family commitments. You seek balance, harmony, and peace at home, and at the same time want to feel like you can enjoy the fruits of your labor. There could be a call to action in your environment that requires stamina, endurance, dedication, and a deep commitment to your family. And this call to action may be fueled by your desire to destroy the superficial niceties that keep people at arm's length and instead bring people together in real, tangible, heartwarming embraces. The card for you, Cancer, is 11, Justice. On this card, we see Captain Jean-Luc Picard, the captain of the Federation starship USS Enterprise. The Justice card coming up as the guidance card for this eclipse energy suggests that there may be trials ahead, and you will have to make decisions, based on what is fair and just, and whatever you decide will have long-term repercussions. This card suggests law and order, ethics and diplomacy, and also cause and effect. What you do will have a direct effect on the outcome, and what you don't do will also have an effect. So make your choices wisely and with great consideration for all parties involved. I also find it interesting that of all the 12 signs, your card is the only major arcana card. This seems significant considering the fact that this eclipse is in a whole sign square to your first house, Cancer, and that Pluto is in Capricorn for the last time in our lifetimes, opposing your first house. This says that the decisions that lie ahead over the next 6 months will initiate very important foundations that affect all aspects of your life path. Leo. The annular solar eclipse at 10 degrees Libra, 3 minutes, will be happening in your third house of siblings, community, communication, and daily route. There could be a supercharged new beginning in your daily routine, how you communicate, or your relationship with your siblings that makes way for a new dynamic to unfold. It could feel like you recently had a decrease in your ability to communicate, or local travel or movement was prohibited. But over the next 6 months, things will start to move forward, and the stifling you previously felt will begin to lift. There is still a lot more to do, but you are ready for this new chapter. The underlying issues of this eclipse may have to do with family trauma or situations that are fueled by mental health issues or issues around how you can count on others for support. Over the last year and a half or so, you may have been feeling as if you were the only one who was looking out for you. And this eclipse may be bringing up some deep feelings about this. You may be working through some familial karmic bonds or even ancestral trauma. With Venus transiting through your fourth house of family, roots, and endings, and as the dispositor of this eclipse, she is bringing some much-needed deep healing to your family history, your home life, and your sense of safety, security, and groundedness. This new beginning in your house of communication may feel like you are writing a new story about yourself. The card for you, Leo, is Page of Latinum, the Suit of Pentacles. On this card, we see Dr. Rhaegar, a Ferengi scientist from Star Trek. The pages in the tarot represent young people in your life or the act of embodying youthful energy within yourself. What this means is to approach the upcoming changes and this new beginning with curiosity and enthusiasm for the work that lies ahead. Embrace the growth that is coming rather than fearing it. It's possible that you may have a helper as you go through the next 6 months who is reliable, enthusiastic, and can offer you support. Virgo. The annular solar eclipse at 10 degrees Libra, 3 minutes, will be happening in your second house of finances and possessions. This represents a recent financial setback or loss and an upcoming financial new beginning. With Mars in square to this eclipse from your 11th house of friends and allies, it is possible that an argument may erupt with a friend or a recent relationship structure has been destroyed. There is a desire to rebuild avenues of communication, and this could be accomplished with a diplomatic approach. If the bridge has been burned, now it is time to rebuild those bridges. This could also involve an important woman in your life with whom you may have recently had a falling out or significant separation. The underlying theme of this eclipse may be about situating yourself in a harmonious community that builds you up rather than tears you down, or it could be about finding peace through communication and meaningful exchanges. The card for you, Virgo, is One of Batleths, the Suit of Swords. The ones, or aces, in the tarot represent sudden opportunities, inspirations, and divine messages. Swords, or batleths, represent intellect, thought, and communication. So the One of Batleths indicates new thoughts, a new way of thinking, a new way of communicating, sharp communication, a sharp mind, and mental focus. So something fresh and exciting in the form of communication, thoughts, or relating to others is coming up. An opportunity that you thought of or that you will think of will pierce your reality, bringing something advanced into the mix. As the guidance for this eclipse in Libra, an air sign associated with relationships and communication, I feel that this is a positive and encouraging card and means that you are embarking on something new that is stimulating a change of your mindset that may bring healing to your relationships. Libra. The annular solar eclipse at 10 degrees Libra, 3 minutes, will be happening in your first house of self, health, immediate environment, and personality. This represents a supercharged new beginning in your appearance, health, or where you live that could have gone through a recent setback or lack of energy around those topics, but over the next 6 months will be a major focus. The underlying issues of this eclipse may have to do with something about rebuilding your assets or possessions, either in the literal financial sense or in the figurative sense of rebuilding how you support yourself. This is because the ruler of this eclipse in Libra, Venus, is traveling through your second house of money and possessions. Venus is also applying to trine both Mars and Saturn retrograde, who are transiting your 10th house of career and the mother, and your 6th house of stress, coworkers, and pets. So there could have been some sort of recent breakdown in your career that caused a lot of stress, and now and over the next 6 months is a period of deep recovery when you are connecting to what you feel supports you on the financial and spiritual levels. The card for you, Libra, is One of Cloaks, the suit of wands. The One of Cloaks indicates that the next 6 months will be about creation, potential, and coming from a very authentic place, representing a clear and true vision of yourself. This card could mean that you have an idea about something you want to do, create, or accomplish, or it could be about an offer that comes in that generates enthusiasm and lights a fire within. It's a positive omen of optimistic, productive, and imaginative energy that fuels the next 6 months. I'm really liking this card for you, Libra, especially with this solar eclipse in your first house of self, health, and immediate environment. Scorpio. The annular solar eclipse at 10 degrees Libra, 3 minutes, will be happening in your 12th house of mental health, confinement, and animals larger than a goat. This represents a supercharged new beginning with your mental health and possibly a romance, since the ruler of your 12th house is also the ruler of your 7th house of relationships. The underlying issues of this eclipse are about feeling worthy of love, with the ruler of this eclipse in Libra, Venus, being in her detriment in your first house of self, health, and immediate environment. Since Venus is the ruler of your 7th house of relationships, as I said before, this placement strongly suggests love coming into your life over the next 6 months. If it is not about love, it is about how you relate to other people and how their reaction to you supports your own idea of self-worth. Recently, you could have felt a subconscious drain or depression to your mood and attitudes towards yourself or toward the idea of having a relationship. But over the next 6 months, these heavy feelings may lift and brighten and become infused with new feelings of passion and sensuality. For the last year and a half, there has been a lack of romance and a feeling of heaviness when it came to finding an outlet for your creative energies, and it may have felt as if it was drudgery to produce anything rather than a joy. But something has recently happened that has sort of unlocked something deep within that feels as if it needs to break free of these restraints and escape the feelings of isolation. And this is being activated by the recent Mars trine Saturn retrograde and also Venus moving through your first house of self joining this trine, evoking urges and feelings of desire that have been dormant, rebuilding your sensual self. Over the next 6 months, this gestating pressure that you feel inside will find an outlet, Scorpio. So be ready for a new you to emerge and possibly a new relationship or a creative outlet you can commit yourself to. The card for you, Scorpio, is Three of Starships, the Suit of Cups, reversed. In the upright position, this card means celebrating something or someone, spending time with friends, being creative, or exchanging ideas. In the reverse position, and in the context of this reading, I feel it means that over the next 6 months, you will be turning the attention inward as you explore what makes you happy, what brings out your sensuality, and what makes you feel worthy of celebration and attention. Healing your own mental health attitudes around relationships and self-worth issues will birth a new you, and this eclipse is a catalyst for your internal molting. Be prepared to feel a little gooey as you go through this metamorphosis, Scorpio. You are outgrowing your old self. Sagittarius. The annular solar eclipse at 10 degrees Libra, 3 minutes, will be happening in your 11th house of friends, allies, groups, and your audience. This means a supercharged new beginning with friends and the groups you are associated with. There could have been a recent lack of activity with friends and colleagues, and now over the next 6 months, it will be about rebuilding your network. The underlying issues of this eclipse may be about mental health issues, feeling isolated, or a setback due to a recent health issue, as is highlighted by the ruler of this eclipse in Libra, Venus, traveling through your Scorpio 12th house of mental health, self-undoing, and confinement, and also ruling your 6th house of stress and health issues and your 11th house of friends. Additionally, the recent trine between Mars and Saturn retrograde could have felt like some sort of structure was being destroyed, a foundational structure or a familial structure, and now you want to rebuild this, but it starts with your mindset, how you think about things and how you talk to yourself, Sagittarius. So do the deep work of changing how you communicate to yourself and others so that you can support yourself with kind and compassionate words. The changes you see in yourself over the next 6 months will be remarkable, as how deeply you care for yourself makes up how deeply you can care for others. So this work on yourself will strengthen and secure your relationships with friends, family, and loved ones. The card for you, Sagittarius, is Six of Batleths, the Suit of Swords reversed. There is nowhere else you are supposed to be right now, Sag. When we pull this card upright, it often means leaving a negative situation behind and traveling to new shores. But in the reverse position, it means that in order to get a different perspective on the situation, we need to look within, not without. The grass is not greener somewhere else. This card is saying that the grass will be green where you are if you water it, tend to it, and feed it what it needs. This means you, Sag. This is about taking care of yourself and allowing healing to take place so that you can bloom where you are planted. As I said before, it's time to do the internal work of learning to love yourself unconditionally. On another note, this could mean that you are recovering from leaving an unpleasant situation, and now it's time to focus on rebuilding your strengths. Much love to you, Saggy, you can do it. Capricorn. The annular solar eclipse at 10 degrees Libra, 3 minutes, will be happening in your 10th house of career, public recognition, praxis, and traditionally the mother. This represents a formative new beginning in one of those areas of your life over the next 6 months. You could have felt a recent lack or decrease in the energy surrounding your career or what you were publicly known for, but over the next 6 months, this will change and improve with time, work, and effort. It's very possible that this new beginning will cause some struggle and strain in your personal relationships or with your spouse, but through effective communication and a solid work ethic, you can heal these rifts and rebuild your relationships with a much more stable foundation. The underlying issues of this eclipse may have to do with wanting more out of your friendships with people and working very hard to connect with others in a way that is authentic and meaningful. The tool card for you, Capricorn, is Queen of Starships, the Suit of Cups. Cups represent emotions and our emotional reactions to things, receptivity, our feelings, our intuition, and our subconscious mind. Queens represent mature women in our lives, maybe even a water sign woman, but someone who has mastered their emotions and isn't overwhelmed by them. Or it could represent an energy of emotional maturity in the situation. So this card for you, Capricorn, means that over the next 6 months, the key to your success will be in being a master of your emotions, reacting to the challenges with maturity and compassion, trusting your intuition, caring deeply about people, and behaving in emotionally secure ways. With all the turmoil in our world right now, Cap, I feel this card is also saying that you may have to hold space for others and their many emotional expressions as they process all of their emotional responses to the pressures of life. Do your best to maintain your boundaries, especially surrounding communication and words used, and I believe you will do well. One of the challenging things about the overall signification of this solar eclipse in Libra is maintaining our composures in the midst of anger, struggle, or challenges. And this will be especially important for you and how you relate to others, since Mars in Cancer is traveling through your 7th house of relationships, making emotional waves. Aquarius. The annular solar eclipse at 10 degrees Libra, 3 minutes, will be happening in your 9th house of belief systems, traveling, foreigners, and higher education. You could have experienced a recent setback to your plans around education, traveling, or perhaps even something on the more spiritual side of things. Over the next 6 months, this will shift as you rebuild your relationships to these topics. The underlying issues of this eclipse may be about your career and how you are putting yourself out there in a public way. You may have desires and dreams that have been challenged by financial hardships or health issues, but those challenges and stressful events have acted as a catalyst for this new strength and determination you feel, originating from your gut that you can't ignore any longer. You must be seen for your unique and mysterious beauty and be recognized for who you truly are inside and out. This is all being activated by the ruler of this Libra eclipse, Venus, moving through your 10th house of career and public recognition and in trine to Saturn retrograde and Mars in Cancer. The card for you, Aquarius, is King of Cloaks, the Suit of Wands. The King of Cloaks is about being a master of inspired creativity. This means that over the next 6 months, this new beginning will be about letting your creativity flow and not restricting it, but rather directing it. Focus, concentrate, and pay attention to the creative forces within that need to shine, Aquarius. Give in to your creative process, the inspired creativity that is within your soul, and let that manifest through your creative passions. We may not know exactly when our abundant future will unfold, and that's okay. What's important right now is to be creative and channel the inner artist. Write, paint, dance, sing, draw, play music, whatever artistic outlet you are drawn to right now. Let yourself get lost in that rather than lost in the emotional struggle of trying to predict and control it all. For some of you, this could result in a new vocation, educational pursuit, or exploration of the meaning of existence. Pisces. The annular solar eclipse at 10 degrees Libra, 3 minutes, will be happening in your 8th house of death, debt, other people's money, and soul contracts. This could mean that a new bond will be forming over the next 6 months, or a new way in which you are supported by a spouse, partner, or significant relationship. And this could be after a period of feeling unsupported or disconnected. There could be contracts or paperwork involved as well, with Mercury, the moon, and the sun all transiting this space and applying to a trine to Jupiter and Gemini in your 4th house of foundations, and as the traditional ruler of Pisces. The underlying issue of this eclipse is the quality of support you believe you are worthy of, Pisces. As a very spiritual archetype, monetary support is something you understand is needed in life, but it is often the last motivating factor for why you do what you do. And as such, you can live a life under the starving artist cliche. This new beginning may change that. With the ruler of this eclipse in Libra, Venus in her detriment, moving through your Scorpio 9th house, and in an applying trine to Mars and Saturn retrograde, I feel that this eclipse could act as a catalyst for transforming how you see yourself spiritually and in the spiritual community. Recently, there may have been a lot of energy tearing down some sort of wall that you built around yourself, or pressure that you've been feeling that has been stifling the expression of who you feel you truly are. And now with the beautiful Venus bringing in her deeply healing and nurturing energy, you may feel a deep desire to rise up from the ashes, let go of your vulnerabilities, and rekindle your dreams. The card for you, Pisces, is 8 of Latinum, the suit of pentacles. The 8 of Latinum is about being prudent and diligently working towards a goal that will provide for you in a material way. It's about being frugal and conserving your energy. Imagine a cross-country runner. They have to pace themselves so that they will have enough power to make it to the finish line. It's also about the harvest that you will reap by being sensible and wise in your actions instead of chaotic or hasty. So over the next 6 months, you may be working on something that only you can see the growth and progress. In the future, you will be ready to showcase your work, but for now, it is about putting in the hours and the effort to keep building what you have been working on. With Jupiter, the traditional ruler of Pisces, traveling through your 4th house of foundations and family, I strongly feel that this represents continuing to gather the information you seek so that when Jupiter enters your 5th house of creativity, you can share with the world your amazing creations, music, art, and joy. I hope you enjoyed the annular solar eclipse in Libra horoscopes. Until tomorrow, Astromommy. Thank you for reading or listening to this special report. Quick links and resources can be found at the bottom of the newsletter. Today's cards were pulled from the Star Trek The Next Generation Tarot, available on Amazon. If you seek knowledge and enlightenment, the Astromommy newsletter may be right for you. Side effects of reading or listening to the Astromommy newsletter are common and include joy, jubilation, delight, happiness, gratitude, love, triumph, feeling in tune with the universe, experiencing deep insights, reflections, and contemplations, a lightened soul, a lighter step, feeling awake when others are asleep, illuminated, enlightened, having spiritual experiences, noticing repeating numbers, animals in nature, or songs on the radio that speak to you, getting vibes, clairvoyance, clairaudience, and clairsmelliance, feeling like you know a secret language, biophilia, crying tears of joy, emotional literacy, feeling lively, stable, exalted, having an auric glow, or feeling like you woke up on the right side of the bed have all been reported. If you purchase anything through the affiliate links that I provide in the newsletters, I will make a very small commission. Thanks for listening.